Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm Mrs. Fozia Afzal. The topic of my today's lecture is price hike. So, beta, first we'll discuss the topic and then we'll write a letter to the editor and essay on this topic. Uh, the objectives of our today's lecture is that at the end of this video lecture, you must be able to know what is price hike. Then you should be able to write a letter to the editor about price hike, and then you should be able to write an essay on this topic. So beta, do you enjoy shopping with your parents? Yes, everybody enjoys it, and all of us are crazy about shopping. So beta, sometimes you must have noticed that your parents are suddenly surprised to listen the prices of a certain item, and then they start bargaining with the shopkeeper, saying that first this item was not so much expensive and now you are overcharging us. And you know that this is a very kind of unpleasant situation for you and for your parents, because you were enjoying your parents, and now suddenly all of you become upset about it. So you know that this sudden change in prices of certain items, which is always on the higher side, is called price hike. So these changing prices and this ever changing and ever rising prices of the certain items of daily use, this is called price hike. So let's see that what are the other similar meanings of price hike. So beta, this is also called dearness. Price hike is also called inflation. It is rising prices, skyrocketing prices, and soaring prices. So अच्छा अभी भी समझ नहीं आई. So बेटा महंगाई. So this is महंगाई, price hike. And if you will ask your parents what is महंगाई, they will tell you better. Okay. So beta, why it is important for you that you should know all these synonyms of price hike? Because you know that you have to write letters to editors, and sometimes any word from these words can be asked in your question, and you should be able to know that what is inflation and dearness and all this. So we'll discuss it in detail, and first we'll discuss the causes. The causes of price hike. महंगाई के causes, reasons क्या होते हैं? So you know that all the time in news you listen that there is increase in petroleum price. So why there is so much fuss about it, that the petroleum price is rising? Because you know the main reason and main factor behind all this महंगाई is the rising prices of petroleum. Because when the price of petroleum is rising, then all the items are automatically become at once expensive and costly, because then the shopkeepers and all the businessmen say that we have to meet our demands because they are having all their items through the transportation, and transportation definitely depends on petroleum prices. So suddenly all the prices of everything is are increased. So second is devaluation of currency. जैसे आप सुनते रहते हैं कि रुपी बहुत ही कम हो गया है and dollar is rising in the international market. So this is also main factor, because in this way when your foreign reserves आपके जो foreign reserves हैं वो बहुत कम हो जाते हैं, तो उससे फिर क्या होता है, the currency of a certain country is it is devaluation of currency. It is called devaluation of currency. Then next factor is beta imbalance in import and export. So when you import so much things from the other countries and you export very little, then what happens? Your foreign reserves are very much reduced. Then this is definitely, then it will affect your economy and the prices will be rising. Then the next factor is difference between demand and supply. Demand and supply means that you know that due to overpopulation, basically this is this difference of demand and supply is due to overpopulation. When there are so much people, they will demand so many things, but the supply is not so much, right? So then definitely the prices of the items will be rising. So the difference between demand and supply, the supply is very less and the demand is very high. So then this is also a reason of price hike or inflation or dearness. So beta, next is corruption. Corruption means that the people or the shopkeepers are businessmen, they resort to hoarding, black marketing, profiteering. Means that they store all these things and they create an artificial shortage of these items. And this is an artificial shortage because they store everything, hoarding, they store it, black marketing. It means that they do not bring their items in the market to be sold, and they keep it for some time when the prices are so much rising, and they make profiteering. Means वो बहुत ज़्यादा overcharge करते हैं, मुनाफा कमाते हैं इससे, profiteering. Okay, next is deficiency of, it means that reduction of your agricultural and industrial production. Means that your agriculture is not producing so much um, um, produce which can um, meet the requirements of your all the masses of our all your nation. And then definitely industrial production is also at the deficit or it is reduced, then it will result into mehengai. Okay, then beta basically lack of government check and balance. If the government is not keeping a check that what is happening in this regard, then all the shopkeepers and businessmen will overcharge the people and they will set their prices on their own, and they will, because then they have no fear that we are being checked by somebody and the government is checking us. Whatever the prices they want, they charge their customers. So the lack of government check and balance is also a cause or a factor of price hike or mehengai. Okay, so beta, basically we are concerned about the effects. What are the effects of price hike or inflation? So first direct effect is increased prices of everything, of essential commodities. Commodities means items. So all the items of our daily usage are at once become so much costly and expensive, and these are beyond the reach of common men. So common people are driven into poverty. When the people cannot afford to buy certain items of their daily usage, then definitely they are driven into poverty. And what it results, when the poor people or the common people find it unable to feed their family and to maintain their daily life activities and to buy essential items of their daily usage for their children and family, then what happens? Definitely there is frustration and unrest in the society. The people are so much upset and depressed and they're frustrated. And what happens? Definitely then negative feelings are incited among the people. They become angry, they become restless, and they become negative minded. And negative mindedness always results in increase in crime rate. When the people think that we are being mistreated and there is nobody and there is no government to solve this problem of inflation and dearness, and we are unable to feed our family and we are unable to maintain our life, and we are unable to survive in this battle of inflation, then what they do, then they think that this is our right, that whatever we want, and there is theft and there is robbery in your society and all these street crimes. So then definitely increase in crime rate is also a direct effect of price hike. Then increased cost of living. Cost of living means that standard of living is very hard for the people to maintain. The people find it very much hard that they may maintain their standard of living, standard of life. So it becomes at once very much expensive and hard for them to maintain their daily life or the standard of life. So then malnutrition is also a major effect of price hike. Malnutrition means that people, especially the poor people, cannot feed their family and cannot feed their growing children with the proper diet or with the proper essentials of daily life. Then they become very weak, and their requirements of their daily food intake um, uh, is not being uh, they are not able to maintain their daily life food. So this results into malnutrition and weakness among the children. So uh, next, now we'll discuss the solutions. That what are the solutions? uh, First is that government should have strong monitoring system, strong check and balance, so that nobody from the shopkeepers and from the businessmen then can overcharge the customers. And they should have a fear of government check and balance, that somebody is monitoring us. So the government should monitor that what is happening in the shops and why the shopkeepers are overcharging the customers. Next, corruption mafia. And who is corruption mafia? The people who store the items and who create an artificial shortage of the food in the markets. They should be dealt with an iron hand. Means that government should punish them, these culprits, because these are the factors who are responsible for this artificial shortage of items in the market, and the people are forced to buy expensive things. Okay, government should enhance the agricultural and industrial production. So it is also the duty of the government that it should reduce the uh, difference between demand and supply. And how it can be reduced? That government should take steps to enhance agricultural and industrial production. Then local items should be preferred over imported ones. So beta, this is also a responsibility of everyone, not just of government. That you know that we Pakistanis are very much crazy about buying imported things, and we feel so much proud that I have bought an imported thing, or I have always I'm always buying important things. So this is a very much unrealistic approach. In fact, we should always prefer our local items over imported ones, because when the demand for imported things is risen, then it is directly affecting our reserves of foreign currency, and our rupee is devalued, and then the dollar becomes on the rise. It is on the rise. So you should also think about it, that from now on you should ask your parents that we want to buy local items instead of imported ones, right? Okay. uh, some more solutions. People should adopt simple lifestyle. So when they will adopt a simple lifestyle, then definitely they do not requires so much expensive and important things, and they can maintain their daily life and their standard of life with minimum things, and they do not need so much things that will ultimately affect their economy, and that will be resulting into dearness and inflation. So from government side, what else they can do? Government should maintain utility stores and Sunday bazaars, and these should be stocked with daily life necessities for the people who cannot buy so much expensive things from the regular markets. So you know that utility stores are set up from government side, and the prices are under control in these stores. So government should stock a lot of things in these utility stores and bazaars. But you know that it never happens. Whenever you do not know, but your parents must know it, that whenever they go to utility stores in hope of buying something on less prices, then you find nothing in utility stores. You can ask your parents about it. Okay, inflation of currency should be controlled. So these are some of better. These are some of the steps that government will take. You know that steps to be taken are some of the steps that we, the masses, are the common people, should take, like adopting a simple lifestyle and preferring local items over the imported ones and all that. But most of the steps in the in control of a price hike is to be taken by the government side. So this is also one of it, that inflation of currency should be controlled. Then financial relief, this is also from the government side. Government will do it. Financial relief may be given and provided to the middle class and the lower middle class, so that they can maintain their daily life activities and they can fulfill their daily requirements of their children and themselves. Okay, beta, now look at this. This is your pattern of your letter to editor that you have already learned in your some of your previous lectures about informal letters. So this is the address of the sender, and you are supposed to write it in your examination hall. So you will write this. This is sender's address, and this is the address of receiver. You will write it like this, and after that you will start your letter to editor. So okay, first I'll tell you that the things that just now we have discussed: causes, effects, and solutions. This makes an essay outline for your essay of price hike or inflation. So you can develop an essay on this very easily. So let's start this. Please allow me to point out the menace of rising prices. Menace means the danger of rising prices of essential commodities. Essential commodities mean daily life items. I shall be obliged to you kindly publish my views by sparing me a column or two in your esteemed daily. The rise in prices of essential commodities has become a very serious issue. The daily necessities of life are becoming costlier, means expensive, with each passing day. Prices of wheat, flour, rice, pulses, sugar, vegetable oil, and other basic necessities of life have touched new heights. In fact, there is no limit to galloping prices. So you know what is this? Here the effects are being discussed. So in the letter to editor, you will just discuss the effects mainly. The steep rise in prices have severely hit the poor and middle people class. So again, these are the effects. They groan day and night. Groan means they suffer in this pain day and night under crushing weight of rising prices. The government must release. So this is a solution. You know that in the government must release that price line is the sorry, this is realize, but there is a bit spelling mistake here. Realize, the government must realize that price line is the lifeline. It means that life of the middle class people or the poor people depends so much on the price control. So big businessmen and hoarders, means corrupt people, store things in their godowns. Godowns means in the storehouses, and they create artificial shortages in the market. So this leads to an increase in prices. So only some of the causes have been discussed here. Okay, again, here are the solutions. More fair prices depots should be set up from the government side, and the shopkeepers and traders or businessmen must be ordered to put price lists of essential commodities, essential items. Black marketeers, profiteers, and hoarders, so these are corrupt people, corrupt factors, must be dealt with sternly. Much of food should not be wasted in parties and marriages. So these are solutions from the common people that they can do. People should understand the value of simple living and observe it in their daily life. Every step must be taken to check the rise in prices. So we have discussed the causes, effects, and solutions of price hike. So you know that when you will write an essay, you will discuss all these causes, effects, and solutions in detail in your essay, step by step. But you need not discuss everything, all these things in your letter to editor. Your main focus will be on the effects of price hike, right? And then you will suggest some of the steps by the government side, what the government should do to control the price hike, and what are the responsibilities of the common people or the masses in controlling the price hike or dearness. So beta, this is your home task. Now you will be able to write it because it has become very easy for you. We have discussed it in detail, that you will write a letter to the editor about price hike, and you will also develop an essay on the given outline that we have discussed. And you will write the essay in detail, and you will write letter on focusing only the effects and some of the solutions, and only there are very minor causes that have been discussed in the letter. So this is your home task. I hope that you will do it, inshallah. And now thank you and take care.